And later today, the French President, François Hollande, ends his official visit to Turkey, the first such visit since François Mitterrand back in 1992. Now, his objective has been to try to smooth over French-Turkish relations that have deteriorated over the past few years. France's former president, Nicolas Sarkozy, led the European opposition to Turkish membership in the EU, and a diplomatic crisis was sparked by a French law that intended to forbid the denial of the Armenian genocide. Well, France 24's correspondents in Istanbul report now on whether such issues continue to affect French-Turkish relations.
Seven years ago, Hrant Dink was murdered by a Turkish nationalist in the middle of the street in front of his office at the Argos newspaper, where he was editor-in-chief. Today, Robert Koptaş holds his position. Like Dink, he too receives regular death threats for writing about the Armenian question. Despite these pressures, Koptaş opposes laws passed in other countries that forbid the denial of the Armenian genocide.
When such laws are passed in France or other countries, it plays into the hands of Turkish nationalists, because they believe that the whole world has conspired against the Turks to spread what they believe to be a lie.
A similar stance is held by Ankara, which rejects the term genocide. In 1915, the Ottoman Empire was on its last legs. Accused of treason, the Armenian community became victims of deportations and large-scale massacres. France officially calls this a genocide. 2 years ago, it passed a bill forbidding denial of the term genocide, which provoked a serious crisis between the countries. Business was the first casualty, with a boycott aimed at French companies and brands in Turkey. Tensions were calmed after the Constitutional Council struck down the law, allowing commerce to recover. France is Turkey's 8th largest export market, and many young French entrepreneurs, like Remy, have come to Turkey to conquer this emerging economy.
Economically speaking, Turkey is perhaps not quite an El Dorado, but for sure a place where one can accomplish a lot. When doing business with Turks, you're exposed to a determined, hard-working state of mind. It's dynamic.
With its fantastic view over the shores of the Bosphorus, Galatasaray University is held in high regard. For many decades, the Turkish elite has been educated at this French-speaking public institution. At a time when English has become the global lingua franca, in Turkey, speaking French remains a mark of distinction.
In Turkey, Galatasaray University is the symbol of French-speaking culture. You could call it its flagship in Turkey. It's not only a university, but also a bridge between France and Turkey, and at the same time, a bridge between Turkey and Europe.
Turkey has officially been a candidate for membership of the European Union since 1999. Its candidacy was blocked by former President Nicolas Sarkozy, for which he is resented by many Turks. If François Hollande decided to lift this blockade, many believe that the Erdogan administration is not sufficiently committed to making the necessary reforms.
Journalists are in jail, political thinkers are in jail, so many people are in jail. It makes you wonder how advanced democracy really is in Turkey. I'm not optimistic.
But for Cengiz Aktar, Turkey's EU membership remains a long-term project that must continue, despite the political turmoil.
Just as you should not judge the European stance based on passing politicians like Nicolas Sarkozy, you should not judge the situation in Turkey or its potential membership of the European Union based on what the government of Mr. Erdogan does or does not achieve.
The West is fascinated by Turkey, a country that is Muslim yet secular. Its economic potential could make it a prized member of a Europe in decline.
Focus there, reporting from Turkey. Now, athletics coming up.